beautiful day. It's a beautiful day to buy an EZ90. And if this is everything it seems, let me tell you, boys, we might just came up big right now. Big. She needs some work, but I think she's all there, boys. I don't even know what I'm really looking at. I think she's all there. Well, that was quickly escalated. Seems like everything I do, I always end up going all in like this. Quick little story was that this one popped up. The first one we grabbed in this video popped up, and it was a pretty good deal for it. It was $1,200, so the guy posted it for $1,500. Once I got there, we talked over a few things. I realized there was obviously some things wrong with it. Most commonly wrong with these things is usually like the CDI box. Now, this is my first time building or even getting a Honda CUB EZ90, but I've wanted one of these since I was a little kid. I remember going to like the drag races, and in the pits they always had like some type of scooter, or it was iconically one of these, and it like burnt in my brain just because these things look so bizarre when they're fully, obviously right now they don't look cool, but when they have all the plastics on, they look like something from the future, yet these bikes are all from the 90s. So this one was a 91, this one is a 93. The reason I grabbed this second one was mainly for some parts. It was such a good deal. $500, and just this seat alone, I'm ordering a new blue seat cover. I could throw that seat cover on and the seats go for like $300. Then we have a motor, a frame, and basically I need a few things off of this one, so this thing's gonna be completely parted out, but it's gonna hopefully be something that I bought this one, and I'll hopefully make about 1,000 off this one, maybe a little bit more. A lot of these parts and a lot of the money I get from it to build this one, so it just made a lot more sense. That's typically how I end up doing some things when we pick up multiple bikes. It always works out pretty good that way. So now we have almost 2 complete full set plastics of Honda CUBs, and if you know anything about these Honda CUB EZ90s, a lot of these things are worth a lot of money. So as you see here, we have a red seat. We also have somewhere in one of these boxes a brand new seat cover, and this seat foam looks perfect. The other one's missing some stuff. But we're gonna dive right into this project, and none of these bikes are running. This one I believe is an electrical issue. The CDI boxes commonly go bad on these. It could be it could be a bunch of things, but that's why we have this whole bike here to hopefully, you know, kind of really figure out what we gotta do to get this bike running. So they're both missing some stuff that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And here we got 2 boxes of parts, so I need to go through here and really see what we're working with, because I didn't really get a chance to when I picked this thing up. So I think this one has all of the plastics except for a battery box, which I already ordered. This one didn't have a battery box either. It is what it is. And already ordered that, an air box, a few other little miscellaneous parts. I didn't notice that this thing was missing the back wrapped around plastic too, but I think that this one right here has it. Blue and white one came with a mint plastic blue headset, which these things go for a really good amount of money. I've seen them go for like $300 or $400 very commonly, so that's very important right there. We're gonna dive right into some of these, but that blue one's not gonna work for us on this one, so we might be able to find someone to trade us for a white one, or sell this one and buy a white one, whatever the case is. Today the goal is pretty much to get possibly all the plastics thrown on. I'm not even gonna worry about getting the bike running yet, until I figure out everything I'm missing and get an idea of what the cost is going to be for a build like this. So let's just get straight into it, and I'll let you guys know once we kind of get everything unboxed here and figure out what we're working with, because I don't even know what we're working with, because I barely even know what we're working with yet. So this one does have a set of keys though. I was stoked on that, and it's titled. That's another thing. This one that we picked up, the $1,200 one, has a clean title on it, which is awesome. This one, no title. So that's why part out makes a lot of sense for this one as well. All right, just very roughly setting the plastics on the bike. No bolts or anything, just trying to get an idea. I can tell we're missing, but there should be like a red mesh cover that goes right here. I don't know what you would call it. Missing that. Other than that, the headset is very bad. For my white one, it's very cracked. It's missing a bunch of things. We're definitely gonna need to source a white headset for it. We have that spare blue one, but yeah, we're missing that. And as far as this one goes over here, it's pretty much missing the fender. It's missing the back hoop because I'm going to use it on this one. We got the gas tank cover over there. It's missing the under panel. It's also missing that air fin one I'm talking about that goes in the front up here. So this one's missing a lot more, but this thing is about to be completely parted out here today. So I'm taking this thing down to frame because I found someone that needs the frame for it. and we're gonna do a little trade for some parts I need for this one. So it's just in rough condition. Like, look at this stripped and just completely rotted Kickstarter spline that goes to the motor. It's just, it looks like everything on this one has taken a toll. This one looks like it maybe sat inside, and by how faded this one is and everything's dry rotted, this one was probably definitely sitting outside. This one's actually missing a lot more than I thought. It's missing the whole entire front clip with like the glove box area. It's missing that whole thing, and this foot peg is bent on this one. I can't tell if it's the bar or just like this actual little peg part, but as you can see, that foot peg's bent. So I might use this bar going across this one, swap the rubber footrests over. I'm gonna have to do some digging, but I basically think that right now it is time to completely strip this one apart now. All right, parts bike all stripped down again, and before we bring this thing in the garage and take all the pieces off it and get dirt everywhere, we're gonna power wash this thing. So let's get right to it, boys. Well, chain guard's already sold, but this screw was so dumb I just had to cut a slit in it using the Dremel, but it was completely a flat tip screw, so there's no way to take it off. This nut is welded on the back of the swing arm, so cut a little line in it, and now hopefully we can just get a flathead in there, crack it loose. Phillips down here. This chain guard's sold, and then after that we're stripping this whole thing down. Alright, well here goes the complete teardown of this EZ90 here. Well, here's the EZ90 frame currently. EZ90 frame is raw pretty much except for the swing arm. Cut the bars off, the bars are sold, chain guard's sold, and then I have a whole extra box of parts now, extra wheels, extra forks, all that good stuff. So now this is where we turn two bikes into one bike. Showing the CUB EZ90 a little bit of some love today, and we're gonna go ahead and rewrap this seat. So this is the one we're gonna be using. Ignore this hissing sound, my air compressor just blew up. But we got the new seat cover right here. It's a remake, but it's just like the original with the Honda logo on the back, so we're gonna wrap that seat up. But yeah, man, it never fails. This thing's been kicking for years though, and it gets baked out here directly in the sun, so it was only a matter of time. It's not in the airlines it could fix, it's actually the hard line from the tank itself cracked. So it's just sitting here leaking out, but hopefully it'll hold enough air where we can staple this seat on. We're gonna have to undo all these staples, and then we'll go ahead and work on throwing the new cover on, and I'll show you guys how we do it. Always a fun part. I just find a good flathead and come in here, and then you gotta use pliers half the time to get them all the way out, but all the staples removed. It's time to pull this crusty ass cover off now, boys. This thing's disintegrated at this point. Oh man. New one. Make sure she all fits. Ooh, that's a tight fit. God damn. We have to make sure that's centered. Oh, this one's gonna be a fun one. Like I said, first thing we're gonna do is kind of hit it with the heat gun. I'm gonna try to get that slit just perfectly in the center. Well boys, seat cover's on there. Logo looks pretty straight. You can kind of see where the foam was messed up here, but it wasn't bad enough for me to want to fill it with foam. So I made do, and I think it turned out amazing. The only thing I had a small issue with was on this side. It was hard to get the staple gun in right where this seat mount is, and it kept wanting to tear right there. So I had to put a little bit of super glue on the cover to the staple because it kept wanting to peel this cover off. But I literally triple layered. This is probably the most pain in the ass seat cover I had to deal with because it was just like completely square cut. It wasn't actually like seamed for the curves. And this is a very curvy seat, as you can tell. There's no sharp edges at all. It rounds the whole thing. But with all the triple layer of staples we got in here, I don't think the seat cover is going anywhere, and there's no slack and there's like no slack at all in the seat cover. This thing looks super good all around here, so that's all that matters. Wherever you see it, it looks good, and if anything, it's just never coming off, boys. It's that simple. But it's time to look at all the other parts we got for it. So right off the rip, we got a front brake lever, because if you see, she just snapped off. So luckily was able to find an OEM one for it, so we'll be able to throw that on there. No big deal. Here we got a battery, because it was missing a battery. Straight from Italy, we got a bunch of goods. So I gotta give a big shout out to Andrew Zupa. If you're part of like the Honda CUB EZ90 Facebook page, you probably already know who Andrew is. He's like one of the main parts guys for these CUB 90s, and I saw him and heard from him pretty quickly when I joined that Facebook page. So big shout out to him. He's over in Italy and he has so many parts. A lot of you guys who just went on YouTube and found this video searching up CUB 90. Dude, I got a huge butterfly. It just landed on my camera. I literally have a butterfly on my camera as we're talking about this right now. I was very happy to get in contact with him and source a lot of the parts I needed. Luckily enough, he needed a part from me, which was the frame to that other EZ90. So as you can tell, that EZ90 frame is gone. Went to Italy in exchange. We got a bunch of parts for it. First things first, he threw in some goodies here for us too. So we got a CUB keychain. Very stoked on that. But most importantly, boys, look what he threw in. BWS keychain. Throw one right on the BWS. I think that's gonna have to get that one. We got some hand guards, much needed accessory for these Honda CUBs. They look so good when they have the hand guards on the headset. So OEM hand guards. We got a battery box and a battery strap. So mine, both the CUB 90s I picked up are missing a battery box. So I had to source a battery box, and luckily Andrew, being the parts guy he is, had the battery box. So he also remakes these straps for the battery straps, so stoked I was able to grab some of those as well. But we have an OEM battery box, now battery strap. We got the airbox lid clips. Got a blue seat cover because I have that second seat, which is blue, that also has a really bad condition seat, funny enough, so we're gonna have to redo that one as well. But got the blue one for there. Also throttle tube, because our throttle tube just is all cracked and warped and just feels really crunchy in there, so does not feel too good. So luckily was able to grab an OEM throttle tube from them. I got a belt, because who knows what condition this belt is, and there also just why not, you know, why not throw a freshy belt in there. And airbox foam. So also a few other parts we got from miscellaneous pieces. I think this one was from eBay, and this one was from Facebook. I ordered this one first off Facebook, and then I realized it didn't come with foam or anything, so I needed foam for it, so that's why I got that from Andrew. Such a hard bike to really find parts for. It was worth just grabbing this one as well. So it was like $100, and first thing we did is funny. We did the seat cover before anything, even trying to get this bike running. But when I picked up this bike, the guy said it had electrical issues. The CDI box supposedly was the issue. You never really know. Who knows? Like, most of it's kind of unplugged up here. And I know that these brake switches are a big deal on this as well. That the bike won't start without that. So we got to go through and put some work in ourselves and really figure out what's going on here. But kind of just wanting to get everything I notice right away that's missing here. So when I do get it running, I can kind of throw this thing together. So we're still sourcing parts. I ended up selling the other chain guard I had, so that's gone. And just listed a few other parts on the page, so we'll see what else goes. But we got something to do today, and it involves a Banshee, but not this Banshee, but my stock Banshee that's tucked away back here. We threw a bunch of goodies on it, and this thing just basically sat. It's super clean, but the time has come, and I think we might be selling this bike today. So, yeah, with that being said, we got to move all this. What am I doing, boys? Look how clean this thing is, man. Am I making a mistake right now? Let me know in the comments down below if I'm making a mistake selling this thing. I feel like I am. as of right now, I think I'm stuck where I'm at on the Cub build because, well, both of them were not running when I grabbed. I'm gonna keep looking over here when the Cub's gone now, but Cub's gone, Banshee's gone. It is what it is. I did try using the other CDI box to see if I got spark, and so far I'm not getting spark at all. So I'm really starting to think the CDI box was bad on both of them. Like I said, it is a really common issue on these older bikes, and I see a lot of people talk about how these stock CDI boxes just go out. So I'm thinking that's the issue. I tried both spark ignitions. They both were good. I mean, they both weren't, can't say they were good, but they both didn't give spark either. But I'm thinking it's more CDI box related. But the only thing I know is that there is power, like, getting through the harness. If I had the starter right now, it'd be a lot easier to show you guys that I'm not getting spark. But I was doing it with the old kickstart. Basically, there's two safety switches on this bike. One's right here in the kickstand, and one is right here that goes to the actual brake. So you're supposed to be pulling in the brake and have the kickstand up when you go to start this bike because it's an automatic. They want you to be sitting on this thing with the brake ready to go. When you start a bike like this, that's an automatic. It's usually like a little safety thing. So fuse is good. Like I said, we looped this one because this is super faulty. Very, very common for these to go bad. And also, it's just annoying to have the brake situation. So it's easy. You just come in here, loop the two wires that go to it, and simple as that. We pretty much bypass that. Now, the kickstand I was about to bypass, but then I realized this very, very interesting factor proving that the kickstand switch works. So, no power going to the starter relay, right? Put the kickstand up, give her a listen. You can hear power starting to go to the starter relay. It's obviously not making actually starter noises because we don't have the starter in, like I said. So we know that at least it's getting past the kickstand switch and this bypass worked, and there's power that would be going to the starter. But the problem is there's zero spark. So I took a spark plug, plugged it in the coil, I had it to the head over here, and I was kicking it. It's really good compression. Can't really kick it right now, sitting down. But that's good compression, and there's no spark happening whatsoever. You don't need to pull in the brake, like I said, because we bypassed it, and I was doing it with the kickstand up, obviously, because as you saw, the kickstand switch worked. So with that being said, I'm thinking CDI box is toast. I tried both CDI boxes, same result on both of them. I'm thinking CDI box is a no-go. So I'm going to hit up my homie. Maybe I can have him mail me his so I can try it first. One that I know actually works on his bike, and then be able to narrow down my issues. Or I have to man up and spend like the $300 on a good CDI box. So I want to get this video out because I've had this project in the background for maybe about a month and a half now, because I had like 3 weeks before those parts even came from Italy, and like it's been a while since I got the EZ90, and I've been hiding it from you guys because I've been waiting to finish this video and I want to get it running. But I don't think that's gonna be possible tonight, and I want to be able to get this video out to you guys. So yeah, that's going to do it for this one. I hope a lot of you guys are going to be stoked on this EZ90 project. It was something I didn't see really coming here in the near future on the channel, so it was a surprise for me when it popped up, and crazy how we ended up getting 2 back-to-back days when I haven't seen one pop up in like probably my last 5 years of looking here in Las Vegas. So pretty crazy, but I'm very stoked on this thing. Like I said, I've always wanted one, and I can't wait till we get to actually ride this thing. That's going to do it for this one, boys. So long to the Banshee. And make sure you guys leave a thumbs up, subscribe to follow along with the builds, and I'll see you guys in the next one.